Alright, got a little bit of an update here. I bought a different blower fan. It's for a fireplace, and I couldn't really get it to blow very good, but I did get it to suck fairly well. And obviously when you suck the air through the heat exchanger, it's going to warm up the blower. I've recently switched to wood, and the wood of course is a lot more, it's a lot faster heat. And I've got this fan on low. It's got a dual position, high and low and off. Nice little design, all metal construction. However, it's pretty well so hot right now I can't even touch it. And it's a lot to do with the wood. I got the wood fire going as low as possible, and I'm generating, wowzers, a whack of heat out of here. Like, you can, it's just all you can do to hold your hand there. I don't have my temperature gun with me, and looking over here, it's it's minus 20 out today, and we are sitting on plus 30 in the greenhouse here. Yeah, that outdoor one is showing only minus 8, but it's in the snowbank. It's covered in snow, the sensor. So, but the weather station's saying it's minus 20 out today here. So we seem to be going from one extreme to the next here, and I don't really have a way to regulate my fire anymore. I can't really turn the fire down much more, so I don't know if it's a good idea to shut the fan off. The reason I don't want to shut the fan off is I'm worried my heat exchanger is going to overheat and possibly warp the pipes. So I guess in hindsight, when we go right back to the day I built that thing, it may have been in my best interest to build those heat exchanger pipes with some serious, Sked 80 or something, or some 2 7/8 oil field tubing or something maybe. So that's just a food for thought thing. I think I am going to shut this blower down. I have a baseboard heat controller here, which is hooked up to this fan here. Oh, the snow's falling off of here. And I may have to incorporate this switch, this thermostatic switch idea, onto that. Now I just make it so it plugs in. I just put a receptacle on here, and it would cut the fan in and out as needed. It is nice to see that I can get the temperatures up. Look at that, we're at 32 here now, and climbing. I'm gonna have to open a window in here pretty soon. I'm gonna start melting. But anyway, that's kind of where we're at. So I think I'm gonna shut that fan down because I don't want to burn that motor up. It's a nice design, so I'll keep any updates going. Alrighty, just wanted to do a bit of a recap here. So I wasn't getting a lot of good results with blowing with this blower fan that I have. Really happy with the blower fan. Not so happy with the amount of, like, right now I have it blowing back, and I've got it down here, and it's about average for what I had for airflow. But when I switch it around, and I suck, so I basically just switch these two ends around here. I've got these adapters on here to meet up with this 5-inch, right? So when I switch it around, I get way better blow with it sucking on the pipe. However, that heats up the squirrel cage. The motor is fan cooled. It has its own little fan on it, so it does real well. However, when you shut it down, when the greenhouse is warm enough and you shut it down, it tends to warm up this here. I've had this up to 100 degrees or even maybe a few degrees more. This here was up to about 75 degrees when it shuts off, because obviously it loses that fan cooling. So it's running now. Let's just see what we're at. We're at 25 degrees on the fan body, 13 degrees on the blower body. So you can kind of see it sucks better than it blows through the system, but the temperature, I mean, this thing has got to be built for heat, because it bolts right onto the back of a certain breed of fireplace. So it's got a 4-bolt flange there. So I mean, it's got to be able to resist a certain amount of heat, simply because if you didn't have the blower on and the fireplace was, this thing would get hot. So I think it's probably well within its limits. Not 100% on that, of course. I'm really struggling with keeping that fire at the right temperature. Now the fire's too low and it's not producing the heat. So here's what I'm going to do. I do have a bit of the same issue with the Radiant water system. If I start the furnace without using the water cooling, and then I turn the pump on after everything's heated up in the furnace, the pump, doesn't want to push the steam through the system. But if I start the motor first and have the water circulating and then add heat, it does fine. And I've even taken the liberty of upgrading to a much larger pump. Okay, that is the one I just tried that seemed to stall out with the steam, and that one has a 6.5 foot head on it. It's 330 gallon per hour pump. On the flip side, I was using these little guys. They don't have near the head that the big one does. I have another one here that I was using. I don't seem to see it in there. Oh, that's because it's in the pail still. You see that one there? It's kind of an in-between size. It's seen better days though. You'll see I'm pumping antifreeze now too. I was kind of reluctant to use antifreeze because I didn't want to stink the greenhouse up with that smell, that sweet smell of antifreeze. So far so good. It's been great. I haven't smelt it. Anyways, what I'm thinking about doing is I have this thermostatic blower, and this is just a bathroom fan, and I retrofitted. It's just got a 3-inch outlet with actually a check valve in it. It's designed for bathrooms so that the wind doesn't blow back into the bathroom. Took the plant pot, cut the center out, adapted it up to 5-inch because I was actually trying to blow through this lower pipe here with this. Unfortunately, this just does not blow hard enough, which is why I bought that new blower there. So anyway, this is only 20 bucks, so it's a far cry from that $100 blower I have over there. Anyway, baseboard heater thermostat. Very simple construction. Basically, whatever it is hooked up to this thermostat keeps going until it warms up enough, and then the thermostat cuts itself out. So what I want to do is I want to hook up a receptacle in here that if I plug anything in, this here will control the thermostat. So I could either use this or whatever I have plugged into the thermostat. We don't want to overload this. It's only 15 amp circuit. This fan is only drawing 0.9 amps. So that leaves a pretty wide window on this switch here. So what we could rig up is a plug in here, and we could plug this blower into it, set the thermostat. That blower blows until it's warm enough in here. Thermostat cuts her out. She sits there idling. Now, if we wanted to get creative, if we are worried about the temperature of our blower motor here, the good one, we could set up a circulating fan in the greenhouse that actually blows its air at this. It could still circulate air throughout the greenhouse, and because the fire's still going, this stays warm because there is a little bit of circulation. There still is some heat coming out of the pipe just from induction. Therefore, we could blow a little bit of air on this just to keep this cool, because I do believe, if you look here, this is plastic. This blower that cools the motor, I believe, is plastic. See, it wobbles pretty good there too. and I'm gonna say that's plastic. So we don't want this thing doing, you know, 100 degrees is probably really pushing the limits of it. So we gotta, I like this. It's a good deal. Hard to find too. I ended up finding it at Canadian Tire. Anyway, that's what we're gonna do here. So I'm gonna get a receptacle wired onto here, and we'll change this so it's more optional. And we can, like I say, just put a small blower fan, a circulating fan, to keep that motor cool, and we'll give that a shot. See what we end up with in the end. Oh, for now.